Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing great wherever you are in this beautiful world. And yeah, I say beautiful because I'm right in front of the mountains again. I'm gonna show you the view. And I wanted to talk about how this month have been. I've been thinking about doing something for the YouTube channel, and I didn't know what to do before that. And with my crazy life in Equator, I kind of realized that it was just too much, and I just never found the time to properly do something, to make a video or take photos for you, or it's just life is going too fast and it's just crazy. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna take some time here in the mountains. But when I wanted to actually turn a video, the weather got just insane. It was just raining, and then we had all those clouds. We couldn't see nothing. Well, I mean, it was a bit crazy. So I'm gonna talk about all that in this video. So I don't know how many time it's gonna last, but the idea is to share with you this crazy month that I passed in France. So that was kind of my break from my work, my vacations of 1 month in France. And yeah, so the idea is that I really wanted to do a video, and so I think what I'm gonna do is kind of a monthly journal. That's the idea right now, to do a monthly journal and to share with you my thoughts, what I've been through emotionally, physically, or the problems we can encounter in life. It can be anything, but I really wanted to do that because I think sometimes it can help people that maybe feel lonely about what they feel, but they are not alone. Actually, they they are not just the only ones who feel sometimes bad, or because, for example, I'm hypersensitive, and that is something because some people would say maybe it's just that you feel more the stuff, but it's not just that. It's a whole process, and sometimes we question too much, we worry too much, but also we are really happy when it comes that we are happy. So it's just so many things to handle, and I want to share so many things with you right now. So I'm gonna try to be organized, and the idea is that I'm gonna begin with the first week here in France. So when I found my parents in France, no, not when I found. This video is just nonsense. Okay, so when when I met with my parents again at the airport, so I arrived in Paris. Yeah, also there's like too many flies in this video, so I'm really sorry if I'm doing that all the time. Sorry for that. Okay, this one is gonna get on my nerves. Just get out. My god. So when I came back to France, so the first week, I arrived in Paris, and then I still had from a long journey, because it's like 15, 16 hours to go back from Equator to France. And also it's a crazy traveling because it's like you have to take two planes. Well, I had to take two planes, but I don't think you have the choice. There's no direct, and it's a really long journey, so it's like it feels like it's never gonna end. So when I finally met with my parents at the airport, Paris airport, um, then we still had 2 hours of driving until we could finally arrive at the house. And yeah, it was a mix of different feelings that were really hard to explain at first. So what I felt, because I put that on Instagram, but I think I never said it on this channel since I don't have a lot of videos in this channel. But actually, I had a lovely dog called Aika, and she was an Australian Shepherd, and she was lovely. She was just a little bubble of love, and that was just insane to have a walk with her, to cuddle her. And she was just amazing. And because I'm talking about her in the past, you can imagine that she's not here anymore. She had a tumor, and the tumor had her, and that was really really hard for us three to handle that, because of course we were really close to her. She was kind of, yeah, she was part of our family, and she was our life in a way, because every day we were with her, taking her to a walk, playing with her, talking to her, like, like you talk to your dog or something. So it was a really really hard moment, more for my parents, because at this moment when she passed away, I was in Equator at that moment, which means it was a hard feeling for me, but it was also weird because I wasn't here, so I only had the news. I could only say she passed away, but I didn't see her kind of fade away. I didn't see her not going well. I didn't realize properly that she was not here anymore. And my parents, I think they had more of a hard time than I did, because they could feel her absence every day. So that was really hard for them. So all of that to say that when I came home, first, of course, I had the joy of meeting with my parents again in real life. It had been 10 months since I didn't come home, so it was like crazy. For 10 months, I didn't really see my parents, so that was insane. So yeah, I was just crying of happiness, because when I'm really really happy, I'm crying, because I really I express all my emotions in different ways, but those, yeah, tears of happiness. So we had a really good moment. We talked during the road back home, and then when I came home, I was like so happy, because I had so many stuff that I took back from Equator. I wanted to offer them, to show them the specialties, the things that are specific to Equator. So I really just couldn't wait to show them all that. But before that, I arrived in the house, and I couldn't help but feeling it. I felt the loneliness, because the house was empty of dog, and that feeling was a bit hard. In the harder, I don't know why, because she was everywhere in the house, but maybe the moment that I really liked with her is when we went to the garden to play, when I came back from my studies, from my work or anything. So we went to the garden with my parents, and that moment was really hard, because I felt a lot the the absence of my dog. So I cried for a moment, and yeah, maybe for 15 or 20 minutes I was crying, and then I went to my bedroom to be alone for a moment, to kind of just let it go, and try to remember that she had a good life, and that she didn't suffer much, because we helped her actually go away, because she was suffering too much and we couldn't cure her. So I was trying to acknowledge all that, and to think that, she had a good life, and that's how we should see this. So that was kind of it, and then after that I stopped crying. I went back to my parents. I was like, you have to be strong, and you have to enjoy this moment, because you're back home, and you have to enjoy the time with your parents that are here for you, and you are here for them. And so that's what I did. I enjoyed the time, and that was just the best time I had with my parents. I was so glad to show them all the stuff from Equator, and we talked a lot. That was cool. Like, I found this quietness that I always found in my home, because it's our place, and it's not like the best place in the world, because it's not like in the mountains or something, and I'm just in love with the mountains, as you know. So I wish we could live somewhere else, but there was that, the quietness of the house, and that is the best feeling in the world, I think. So I felt calm. and more, yeah, more calm than I had been before. So there was all that, and then during this week, I also took some time to see my friends, took some time to see my family. I saw my little cousins that were really cute, visiting the house because they were curious. So, we had a good time with the family and my friends that I had the time to see. So it was just, yeah, a good week because I knew I had lots of people to see, to share the news from Equator with. So I had lots of things to say, to share, and it felt good to take some time actually to just just to see everyone else once again after those 10 months in Equator that were totally crazy. So yeah, basically that, and then after that, what happened was that. And this for me has been just what I needed, actually. I really needed that. I needed the calm of the mountains, the sound of the animals, the wind, the view of the mountains, the sun, the warmth, but not too warm. Um, the big places, like you can just run in a field where there's just nothing, but you can just run in it and feel the joy in your heart. And I needed that. I needed that once again. So I really enjoyed those vacations just for that. I really loved being here. I think that just gave me the energy I needed, and sometimes that's actually what we need. And I know I'm lucky to be here because, of course, it's not nothing. It's a lot to pay because nothing's. I'm losing my word, but you have to pay for everything when you go to holidays. But my parents offered us this beautiful chalet in the mountains, and I'm so grateful for them and for what they do for me, and because I really needed that, but them as well. But yeah, it's just crazy. I'm so grateful for being here because it's insane. And I know that it's not everyone that can do that, but my message here is more that if you need something, just do it. Even if it's not a chalet that costs more, you can actually go to a camping for a week, and sometimes even a week is just enough. We are here for 2 weeks, and I think for me it's the best thing because I really have the time to disconnect from the work, and that's exactly what I wanted. But even if you can't afford that, I mean, go in a camping, in a tent. I love that as well. I love camping, but it's just that it's not my parents' stuff. So maybe next time I'm gonna do that, but with my friends. So yeah, it's actually like something crazy. And when you feel that you need a pause or a break or something, do whatever you want and take a break for yourself. I know it's not easy because sometimes you're working, you can take a break when you want to, but there's always a way. Even if it's just a weekend, take a break because it just feels so good sometimes to just stop because life is going so fast and it's just so crazy. It really takes you back to what is essential in life. That's really how I feel it. Like, to me, I understand that what is essential to life is that the nature, is enjoying the moment with your loved ones, it's enjoying what you have next to you, where you are, and realize the chance of living this and being grateful for every moment in life. And it always this always fills my heart with a big happiness because I'm feeling it inside of me. I'm like super happy to be here, and it feels just so good to walk around, to have a big walk in the mountains, to stop in the village, to eat something, to talk with people here. It's just, yeah, it's just life, but to me it's beautiful. And so we have those 2 weeks of beautiful happiness and everything. And then we had some rain. So I was talking about the weather that were terrible at some point. We had rain for like 3 days. And you're gonna tell me 3 days in 2 weeks? It's nothing. But also, in the mountains, because we are kind of high, and the village, the closer village, where we can buy stuff or do stuff, is really really down in the valley. It's like half an hour to get there in car. So when it's raining, when you have all those clouds and that it's totally white, because you can see the clouds going, just taking over the house, like it's all over the house. You are in the clouds, you just can't see nothing until, I don't know, like 5 meters away. You just can't see nothing, it's just pure white. It's really impressive to see that. But also, it can be dangerous and you can't drive by this weather. So when it's just raining for 3 days, just like that, you can't really go down in the valley because the road to get there is short and a bit dangerous. So during the day, it's all right, but during the days just like that, it's no good to do that. So really, it means 3 day being stuck at home. We were lucky because there's one of the 3 days that got better in the end of the day, so we were able to go down to do the groceries and those stuff. But during the day, we just stay home, reading a book or writing. But also, I realized that it was a good moment because I actually could write. Like all those time where it was sunny, and I said we have to enjoy it. We have to go out, because we have to walk in the mountains. It's sunny. Maybe tomorrow it's not gonna be sunny. And because it was raining and we were stuck at home, I had no choice but um, to write, to read, and do everything that I liked. So really, I was super grateful for taking the time to write, even if the weather was not great, even if it was really cold, because we didn't have the fire turned on. But even with all that, I was grateful because I took some time to actually write, and that felt good because I hadn't been writing a lot in Equator. I didn't took the time to do it, or I didn't have the time to do it. It was a bit hard to find some time to myself actually. I love this experience for everything that it is, for traveling, meeting people, for the culture, for all those discoveries. It's insane. But I had so much work, with the alliance, that because I'm working in a French alliance where I'm teaching French, in case you don't know. Um, and I had so much work that I just couldn't find some time to myself. Even during the weekend, it's hard because I'm working from 8 to 1 p.m. On the Saturday mornings. So it's actually a bit hard to just find some time to, just take some time to calm down, to breathe, go into the nature, which is harder than here in the mountains. It's really not the same thing. So that's why I thought I would make this video here today, because it's easier for me to turn video here, and to just tell you how this month have been. So I was thinking that's the way to do that. And I think I'm gonna end with something that is, well, that wasn't expected. Like, we had a challenge during those 2 weeks, because the first week was perfect, and I even saw a friend that is in the mountains as well. So it's crazy. I could write my novel, everything was perfect, or as perfect as it can be. And actually, this week, so it happened like 2 days ago, we had a problem with the car, so my dad's car. And we didn't expect this to happen because this car, we know, is old, but it's been with us since all the holidays that we had together. It's been driving us everywhere. And we didn't see that coming, so we were just on the way to a big walk. We had the sandwiches ready, we had um, our bags ready, everything's ready, sunglasses, hat, and all. And we were in the car, and suddenly a weird noise were there in the car. We could hear it, and we say, "Shit, what's going on with the car now?" So, okay, no problem, no big deal. We're gonna check. And my dad supposed it was the breaker. How do you call that again? I'm gonna check the word and write it under it for the video. And so this was the problem, and my dad said, "Okay, we don't know. It could be a problem, so we had to find a garage." All right, but it meant not going to the beautiful walk we wanted to do. And I just thought, sometimes that's when it happens, when it's the less expected. And it's not a big deal in a way, but it's our car, and we are like 8 hours far from our house in the north. So this means that we need a car to go back, and we need a solution. And it was hard actually, because it was a challenge, just because all the garages were full. Like, that's the season where all the people took their car to the garage before coming back home, because lots of people are in vacations here. So it was kind of a challenge to find a garage that would take the car and see if they can repair it. And we understood quite fast that no garage would do that, because all of them are full and it was just too complicated. So that was a problem. Now, what we had to do was to hire a car, but the problem with that, like a location, is that the word? I think so. um, but the problem with that is that it's expensive. So we had to call the assurance to ask them if we could actually take a car, and if they could pay for it, or how does it work in this situation. We had to find an arrangement with them, and they were cool on that. Like, they explained to us what they could pay and what we had to pay, so it was not that a big deal. Like, they could pay the whole way back with our car. Maybe that wouldn't be working, so they would have to take a truck to put the car on the truck and then take it back to the north. So that wouldn't they would pay that, so that was not too bad. But we had to find a car for the rest of the days that we have here, which means it was like, at this moment, like 4 days. So we were like, okay, we have to find a car. And it was hard to find one, because in the village we were in, so that's the closer village here, um, people said, "You're not gonna find a car here. Like, there's no car you can find in the location." So we were a bit stuck at this point, and we were a bit scared, not because it was not a catastrophe, but we were scared that it would be more complicated to go back home after that, that we would just be stuck somewhere, because if we don't have a car to go back to the chalet here, well, we are stuck in a city where we have nowhere to sleep in. So that was a bit crazy. So we were wondering how the day would end, if we were gonna sleep in a hotel or something, which is always possible, but that was not the plan at first. So we were a bit worried about that. Um, but after that, we actually um, found a solution. So actually, that was cool, because none of us were like panicking, or, well, we were stressed but not panicking, and we were really helping each other, trying to find a solution, helping moral each other. So I think we handled it quite good, actually, because it was a stressful situation. And actually, at the end of the afternoon, we actually found someone that could lend us a car. And this car, I'm gonna show it to you just right now, is a car that is not really a car. How do you call that? In French, it's called camionnette. It's more like a little truck. More like a van. It looks like a van, but it's not a van. Well, I'm gonna show you in video. So that's our new car. So as you can see, it's actually really large. You don't know the other one, but believe me, it was less large, and also it was not um, that long. Like you can see, it's 9 place. You have 9 seats into the car, which is crazy. So I'm gonna just show you. Maybe if you can see in the inside, or maybe not that much. There are 3 seats there and 3 seats at the back. So yeah, so it's kind of a big car, and we're not used to drive that. But actually, it's been perfect for the for going to the lake. So right now, we have this beautiful view next to the chalet, and we're gonna have another car, just like I said. So there's that. But anyway, so we had this car that is larger and longer than our car. So we're like, going back to the mountain with that, maybe it's gonna be a little complicated. But actually, at the end, my dad could drive it just perfectly, so that was not a problem. And also, that allowed us to have this beautiful walk near the lake that we wanted to do. Um, and so we did it yesterday. Yesterday, with this new car, we went the to the lake, and that was crazy. So we could actually and finally enjoy um, another hike, because I was thinking before that it was raining. Right now we don't have a car. How are we gonna enjoy the mountains without that? But we found a solution. We enjoyed the lake. I took some pictures with my dad, and we are really proud of them. So I'm gonna show you those pictures on Instagram. I don't know when I'm gonna post them, but you'll see them. It's me in the lake, and I really wanted to do this kind of pictures for a long time. So I think, yeah, that's gonna be cool. And yeah, and so it ended quite well at the end. So now we still have the car, and we have a solution to go back to the north of France. France actually, the assurance will, I don't know, maybe they will take a car and make it arrive here, so that we can take another car for the assurance that we are going to use to go back to the north of France. I think it's something like that, but I'll just let you know. And so actually, I was talking about a month, but right now it's just been 3 weeks that we are here. And the fourth week is still to come, and I'm gonna spend it in the north with my parents and see other friends that I didn't see before. So I think I'm gonna enjoy the quietness of the house once again, and it's gonna feel really good. So yeah, I think that's quite it. Actually, it's a lot, and I've been talking for half an hour. But I think it's okay that those videos are long, because it's just gonna be monthly, so you don't have to listen to them uh, all in one. You can just listen one bit and then the other. And yeah, just I wanted to share that with you, and I'm gonna share you more views of the mountains, more adventures at the end of this video before it actually ends. So yeah, it's actually quite all for now, which is, I think, enough. And I'm gonna end this video saying that I hope that you're okay. If you are not, it's still okay, because whatever you feel is okay. Don't forget that you have the right to feel bad, and you have the right to feel super happy. You have the right to feel anything you want to feel. So I hope you're handling your life the best you can, and I'm sending you lots of love, and see you next month. Ciao.